you doing in here? Since you're here, may as well help me cook dinner. Come on, let's go. Do you ever have days that you just want to cook? You just want to just make something complicated or something you've never made before and just see if you can do it and maybe wow your family into thinking you can make more than just crap out of a box or a package in the freezer. That's me tonight. And I thought, what if this turns out amazing? And I want to do it again. I should videotape it and I'll just share it with the world. No big deal. So let's talk about what's on the menu. So I think I've gathered everything to make dinner tonight. It's Sunday. It's about 4 o'clock. Mr. So Sassy is at work. He comes home about 5:45, 5:30 for dinner if he can get away. If he can't, this is a perfect dinner just to kind of like keep warm, and he can just eat it whenever he gets the chance to escape from the job. Okay, so on the menu, I splurged and I bought some of this Lowry's garlic salt. I'm pretty excited to use it. I love Lowry's seasoned salt, so it smells really good. Okay, so tonight we are making pork tenderloins, steakhouse seasoned. I'm gonna cook those in a cast iron on the stove top to sear them, and then we're gonna stick them in a 400-degree oven. Those are gonna be the things that I'm gonna probably cook last. I'm also going to make for the first time Hasselback potatoes, which you've probably seen them online. They're just like thinly sliced baked potatoes. I've never made those before, so I thought that would be fun to try. I also have a bag of broccoli and cauliflower, a couple of renegade carrots. I'm just gonna roast these with garlic, olive oil, some Parmesan cheese, and then my favorite thing, I love when I find these at my grocery store. These jalapeno peppers already wrapped up. They've done all the dirty work for you. My husband and I love them. So that's dinner. That's a lot of food, but it's Sunday, and that's, you know, family dinner night at most American homes in 1985. Let's get started. I'm having a space bun fail here. I'm trying to keep my hair up because everything that I cook always ends up with my hair in it. That's how you know I made it from love. I love you. Okay, let's eat. In probably an hour and a half. Okay, the thing that's gonna take the longest is going to be the potatoes, but I'm gonna go ahead and warm up my pan that I'm gonna cook the pork loins in, because when I sear them, I want them to really be hitting a super hot pan to get seared and browned and flavorful and yummy. I have my oven preheating at 400 degrees. I read that roasting the veggies will take about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. The Hasselback potatoes, they are supposed to take an hour, but I don't have like consistent sized potatoes, so we may have a couple that are overdone. My potatoes pickings was slim. So I'm gonna wash these up and we'll get to slicing these. They're gonna take the longest. And actually they're probably gonna take the most attention because you have to check them every 20 minutes and put the seasoning back on them. So I'm gonna wash them and then we will make the season. So with the Hasselback potatoes, you aren't supposed to slice all the way through them. So I'm trying to set up a little system here. First, I'm gonna make sure I get a knife extremely sharp so I have no problems getting through them. The internet says to slice off the bottom so you have a flat surface. And then it suggested wooden spoons or chopsticks for this part. I don't have those. So we're gonna try 2 butter knives and see if we can not cut through the potato. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna work. So the idea with these is that you do some thin slices. I'm just kind of slicing them like I would for fried potatoes. Probably a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch wide. And don't cut through the potato. Okay, I did it. Okay, now that we have that part done, we're going to make a sauce. And for that sauce, we're going to use extra virgin olive oil, some garlic salt, and some onion powder. Now, the recipe that I saw for these said that you could use like rosemary. I don't have any rosemary. And this is kind of basically what we like to cook our meat and potatoes with. And so this will be fine. So I'm going to mix some of this up in a bowl, and then we're going to coat the potatoes in it and get them baking. And you're not going to use all of the mixture when you coat the potatoes the first time. You're just going to use a little bit, because every 20 minutes you're going to pull those out of the oven and reapply the mixture. So it's about a 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. I just eyeball it. I can't be bothered with measuring. And then we're gonna put in some onion powder. I'm going for a lot. I just don't care. And then we're gonna put in this amazing, not sponsored, if this is backwards when it's being played back, I really apologize, garlic salt. And I'm gonna hit it up. I'm gonna hit it up. This looks like it also has parsley in it. Fancy. We're gonna give this a stir, and I'm just going to brush it on my potatoes. Brushy brush. I mean, that in itself is definitely going to make those delicious. Putting it on pretty thick too. I just don't think you can go wrong with it. Whoa, my potato broke in half. That's okay, we're still gonna eat it. That's the big one, that belongs to the man anyway. He isn't picky about presentation. So my oven is heated to 400, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put these in. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, I'm gonna take it out, I'm gonna brush it again. During the 20 minutes, we're gonna get this other stuff going. So next I'm gonna pop into the oven these bacon wrapped, cream cheese stuffed, incredible jalapenos. I love when there's leftovers of these because I like to eat them the next morning. These I'm just putting into a small 8x8. It's my brownie pan. The last time I cooked these in my toaster oven, which I'm pretty sure is on the fritz, took like 2 freaking hours. And I ain't playing that today. So look, those are done. But on my YouTube channel, I have a recipe that I shared for stuffed peppers, and I'll link it below. You're welcome. Hi, welcome back to Eye Level. Next, I'm going to be preparing our veggies for roasting. There is a lot of veggies in here, 2 pounds. So these, I'm just going to roast them up, and I will probably eat on them for a couple of days. And so in that, I'm going to be putting garlic. Of course, if you have fresh garlic, use it. This stuff's just so simple. I'm putting about the equivalent of 2 cloves. 2.5 cloves. And some olive oil. I probably put in 4 tablespoons just now. Do you want to see what I'm doing? I can't angle you down. That, we're going to put in some salt and some pepper. I'm going to guess that wasn't even probably half of a teaspoon of salt. Some pepper, and I'm just going to dump it in. see. I'm gonna go ahead and give a couple of these a trim. We're gonna get in here, we're gonna keep stirring this around until it looks like everything's got a little bit of something shiny happening to it. And now for a question of controversy. Is wax paper and parchment paper the same thing? I use it like it's the same thing. Should I? Okay. And we're gonna dump these out on here. I've never roasted vegetables like this before. This smells so good right now with that garlic on it and that oil that I just kind of want to toss this with some pasta and eat it. Trying to balance things over here. My pan is super hot. And so to sear the pork tenderloins, I'm gonna put in a little bit of oil and we're gonna lay these in here. Oh yeah. We're gonna sear those on each side, about 2 minutes for each side, and then we're gonna stick it in the oven. We'll talk more about that later. This is searing business, is serious and loud. Okay, we got the pork tenderloin seared on all sides. So now I'm gonna stick it in the oven. Woo! And it has to cook till it's 145 degrees in the center. Nobody knows how long that takes. So I figure every 20 minutes when I'm brushing the potatoes, I will just check the temperature, probably after half an hour. It's been 20 minutes, so I've gotten the potatoes out to give them a little zhuzh of their sauce. And I'm also going to, I think, mix around the veggies a little bit. They look like they're coming along really good. There's a ton of steam pouring out of my oven too, so hopefully food's not steaming and it's actually like baking. But let's oil these bad boys up. As they've baked, you can kind of see the sliced parts have kind of cracked open, and that's gonna let the oil mixture get in there real good. One of the most stressful things for me with cooking is getting everything done all at the same time. And that's just not going to happen today. And I've got to make peace with it. I don't know how long the veggies are going to take. And the peppers look like they were just about done. And I mean, I know the potatoes need at least 40 more minutes. And the pork loin still has a ways to go. So when those peppers come out, they're lava hot anyway, so it's okay if they sit for a little bit in their hot little pan. Think about what they've done. But that is the most stressful thing for me about cooking, is getting it all done at the same time so that everything that's supposed to be hot is hot and you can sit down and eat it and enjoy it. Okay, it's been another 20 minutes. These potatoes are spreading apart very nicely. We're going to brush them with some more of their oil mixture, and they have 20 minutes left to go in the oven. Since this is their last application of this yumminess, I'm going to put it on real thick. Now I'm going to get these back in the oven for their last 20 minutes of baking time. I think my veggies are done. They're very tender. Some of the broccoli is a little charred. I don't care. So I'm just going to let these sit on top of the oven. I might pop them back in there once the oven's turned off just to warm them back up a little bit. But these is done. The peppers are done. And I know it's a terrible angle, but that's what you get because, you know, not sponsored. And real quick, I'm going to test the temperature of the pork loin. Like I said, it's done at 145. This will only be uncomfortable for the pork tenderloin.
Jeez, Mom.
102, 116, 127, 136, 141, 145, 140. I think they're done. So there's my 2 pork tenderloins. I'm gonna let them rest 10 or 15 minutes. I'm gonna slice those up. By then the potatoes will be done and we can eat. Okay, I've turned off the oven. The potatoes had about 10 more minutes. Sorry, it says the time over there is 3:50. That's not true. I thought the oven was still on at 3:50. The time is now 5:30. So we started at 4. This took an hour and a half to complete this meal. So I popped the veggies back into the oven to warm back up. Now I'm gonna take these tenderloins out of their pan and put them on a cutting board. And we'll get those cut up. Let me get rid of this. I do have to say, if you don't have a cast iron that you can cook with, save up your pennies and get yourself one. We have several. It's almost all that I cook with anymore, except for like eggs. I use my Paula Deen pans, but everything else I cook in is cast iron. Cutting up this pork loin. I probably should have been fancy and cut it on a diagonal, but I mean, I watch enough cooking shows to make that happen. I just slice these into medallions. I could probably be making them a little bit thicker. Oh my gosh, the middle part is just, it's falling apart. I'm extremely excited to eat this. So, here at my house, we like to test things to make sure that they aren't poison. Why don't I cook this more often? It is incredible. Please don't critique my knife skills. Those little marinated pork tenderloins just have so much flavor in them. All right, I'm gonna wash this off and then we're gonna get the potatoes out. I wish you could smell this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm gonna plate this stuff up. I'll see you at the table. So there it is, the final product. The kids opted for everything, which is amazing. So we'll see how they like it. And let's taste it ourselves. All right, I'm wondering about the, I forgot the Parmesan cheese on the veggies. So good. The cauliflower was good. Let's try a little cheese. Those are cooked perfectly. And they don't taste like farts. I said it. Let's get a little of everything here. Open up, big bite. I already know that the peppers are good and I can smell them, and so I'm going in for a pepper. These are, like I said, I have the recipe below. There's some that I made once, but they're just jalapenos with cream cheese wrapped in bacon. So simple. They're such a great side dish. And as for the potato, it's done. She's all kinds of falling apart. It's kind of nice to have a big potato that I really don't feel like I have to put anything on to doctor it up to make it taste like anything. Now the meat, which we already tested to see if it was poisonous, and it's not. It's delicious. It's juicy, it's tender. It has incredible flavor. If you ever have the opportunity to buy one of these tenderloins that's already pre-marinating, this is my second time cooking them, and they're so easy and they're so delicious. One of my favorite things to do is to get a little bit of that jalapeno with a little bit of meat. I really like this with chicken. In fact, recently I saw a recipe where this is inside of a piece of chicken and cooked, and the bacon's around the chicken. Anytime you add bacon to anything, that's gonna be good, right? But this dinner is delicious. I'm getting 2 thumbs up across the table. Lucy said it's good. I gotta go. I'm gonna finish this up. I might go for seconds of that pork, definitely. Now I'm wishing I made like 8 of those potatoes so I could just eat them all week with the roasted veggies, but I will do this again too. Cooking all kinds of wacky things this week. Maybe I'll vlog again. You just never know when the mood's gonna strike. And I'm gonna come out of my bubble and post something. I also will bring back the space buns because these things are just fun. Okay, I gotta go eat. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad I recorded this because I'm going to make this again and then I'll just be able to know what I did. No guesswork. See you next time. Bye.